Hi again, this is Dr. Pete at the Cloister at Three Creeks. This is another one of the Three Creeks, and I'm set up pretty far away from it so that the sound doesn't overwhelm the total sound of my voice and everything. We're just off the conversation with Bad Axe Jack, and a very interesting conversation. I gotta tell you, Jack, I know you'll be watching this. Your input is really valuable to me, no matter what you think about it. I'm really glad to hear from you, and this stuff you're talking about the gut. I didn't mention it, and I should have, and we'll get into that in a minute. First, I just wanted to start out telling everybody a little bit about, without getting anything too personal. You see what I mean? A bunch of highfalutin bullshit. If he weren't my twin brother, he found out about it about a year ago, told me, contacted me. I don't know nothing. We was separated at birth. You need to ask him about it. I got a skedaddle, thanks anyway. Too personal about this alter ego of mine, my twin brother, John Peter Laux. I am Peter John, and I believe it was actually our biological parents that named us John Peter and Peter John. So John Peter Laux is John Jack Laux, Bad Axe Jack, and he actually lived for a while when he was young in Bad Axe, Michigan, which is in the thumb of the lower peninsula of Michigan. And then he moved into eastern Kentucky and eventually ended up in the Blue Ridge of Virginia, as I did. Okay, so Jack's idea of the gut really fits into, and I mean, maybe he doesn't agree, but I was talking about what's going on in your head as being the spirit part. What's going on in your gut, in your heart, is kind of a combination of spirit and sense. So again, to back up and get into the big picture, the idea of this song of everything is, and the comfortable universe, is that it's meant to be a balance between the three sort of parts of reality. Science, the best we can learn by repeatable experiment. Spirit, which is, the spirit traditions, but also just every one of us is an expert on spirit, because every one of us has our own models of the world in our head, and we share them and communicate them back and forth with each other. The formal religions sometimes work and help, and they do help a lot of people sorting out their understanding of what the world is like, but they also tend to, try to glom onto territory, and Jack was kind of talking about that. They want to start telling you what to think, and they think they've got it right, and you need to think the way they think. So I love that, Jack. I really do. So the idea for a song of everything is the balance between the science, physics, theory of everything, which, they're hoping, it's almost a religious hope that the universe is well-ordered and self-consistent. Honestly, I don't believe that's even close to being true, and I actually have a blog post called The Delusion of the Well-Ordered Self-Consistent Universe, which you can check on my blog. Science is searching for that theory of everything, and they need to keep doing that. It's important. Spiritual traditions are working on that side of the story of everything, whether they believe there's a supernatural or just, what is consciousness, what is the mind, and how does the mind relate to the body. It's an open philosophical question, regardless of whether there's any religion involved in it or not. So spirit is another question that is as deep as, is there an answer to what's behind it in the sense of the mind. And then sense. And here's where Jack just nailed it. Sense is what's in your gut. I'm really going to rely on you, Jack, for giving me more concrete sense of what sense is driving. It's in your gut, it's in your heart. Maybe heart's more like spirit. But what we really want to do with our lives, most people rely on that part of it, their gut feelings, intuition you might call it. And that's the sense quest. The people with senses, they just want to know, what's my life all about? What should I do to make my life the best, to make the world the best, or whatever it is? And love it. I mean, count on Jack for keeping me grounded on that, because I'm more of the science type. I have a PhD in atmospheric science. Worked for NASA for 25 years as a research atmospheric scientist. So science is important to me, and my version of the Song of Everything is going to always kind of get grounded in science and maybe overly focused on science, and perhaps that's where I can rely on Jack to get me back to balance. So that's today's little short installment. We're not going to get into any more depth on what we started talking about, the origin story of the universe in that balanced sense. So thanks for listening. This is Dr. Pete at the Cloister at Three Creeks, and we will continue this series on and on and on. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.